Hi, Domenica here from easysewingforbeginners.com. In this video today I'll be showing you how to set up the Semco Indigo 6 sewing machine. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is get your machine plugged into your power source. So on the side of the machine here will be the spot for your plug. So this particular machine has the foot pedal and the plug attached to the one cord here that goes into the sewing machine. So I'm going to plug that one in. So your foot pedal will go on the floor, plug your cord into the power, and then you're ready for the next step. Now that the sewing machine is all plugged in, I'm going to go ahead and turn the machine on with the switch on the side here. And you should notice a light turning on here. The first thing we'll need to do is put thread onto your bobbin. So if your machine is brand new, if you take off this part on the front here, you will notice there's a little storage compartment and it will have a few bits and pieces in there. So you'll need to grab one of the empty bobbins, and while I'm here I'm just going to grab the bobbin case as well. I'm just going to put that to the side for now. So to put thread onto your bobbin, you've got your spool pins at the back here, so you can use either one of those. So I'm going to pop my thread onto the spool pin there. The first thread guide is right here, so I need to pass the thread from right to left through that thread guide. And then the next thread guide for putting thread onto your bobbin is up the top here. Now you'll notice there's a bit of a spring there, so we're going to put the thread coming along the front first and make sure it's going under that spring and then coming off and around towards the back there. So you're going to grab your empty bobbin, and what I like to do is put the thread tail through one of those holes in the bobbin, and then I hold that thread tail with my other hand and push the bobbin onto the bobbin spindle there. Okay, so I'm going to push the bobbin spindle over to the right now. Okay, and I'm going to put my foot down on the foot pedal to start spinning the bobbin spindle. Okay, once you're happy with how much thread you have on your bobbin, move the spindle back over to the left and take it off. And then you can either snip it with some scissors or use the thread cutter on the side there. So now we're ready to put the bobbin into the bobbin case. So here's the bobbin that we loaded the thread onto before. If you have that little thread tail sticking out there, don't forget to snip it off. I've already snipped mine off. Okay, so because this is a front loading machine, you need to make sure that your thread is running in a clockwise direction. So when you hold your bobbin up like this, your thread tail should be coming off the right here, and it should look like the letter Q when you hold it up. So remember, letter Q, thread running in a clockwise direction. Okay, I'm going to grab the bobbin case here and I'm going to put the bobbin inside the case. Now on the side here you'll see a little slit, so the thread needs to run through that slit, and then there's a blade of metal here. This is actually your tension on your bobbin. So the thread needs to run under that blade, and then it needs to sit in this groove here. Okay, so when you pull your bobbin, it should be running in a clockwise direction or turning in a clockwise direction. Next I'm going to open up this little cover here. Now you will notice that there is a little notch up the top here. So this little finger here, I suppose, on your bobbin case will need to sit in that little notch up there. Okay, so I'm just going to hold the bobbin case with a finger on each side, put it on like so, and then you should hear a click. Okay, and so your bobbin case shouldn't be moving around. Next we're going to thread the top part of the machine. Now you'll probably keep the same thread colour, but I'm just going to change it to a different colour just so you can see the difference between my top thread and the bottom thread that I've used. Okay, so you should already have your thread running through the first thread guide there, but I'm going to put mine back through there. The next thread guide is over here, so the thread will need to run behind that thread guide and then up and then sitting in that little notch at the top there. The next step is down through the tension discs here, and then it will be up and under. Next you'll need to put the thread over the take-up lever. Now if you can't see your take-up lever, then just use the hand wheel and turn it towards you until you can see the top of the take-up lever. In this particular machine it's a bit hard to see, but it's coming up the top there, so you need to make sure the thread goes behind and then to the front of the take-up lever where it will have a little groove that the thread will sit in there. Okay, we're going to run the thread down the front of the machine here. At the top of the needle bar there is another thread guide, so I'm going to make sure that the thread is tucked in behind that thread guide there, and the next step will be threading the needle. So next we're going to pass the thread through the eye of the needle down the bottom there, and we're going to go through the front through to the back of the needle. Just make sure when you're pulling it through it doesn't accidentally get caught under the tip of the needle. So your thread should be running down the front and through to the back there. For this next step we need to get this bobbin thread up through the top here, so you're ready to sew. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the top thread here out to the left, and I'm going to use the hand wheel and turn it towards me to bring the needle down, and we'll go back up, and when it does this you should start to see the pink thread go over the bobbin and catch that bottom thread. Okay, once it's done that, if you pull that top thread you can see the bobbin thread there, and then just use your other hand to pull that thread all the way out. Once you've done that, put both threads under the presser foot and towards the back of the machine. You can close that cover up there. I'm just going to replace this as well. Okay, and then your machine will be ready to sew. Just a couple of things to point out before you start to sew. Up here is your stitch selection wheel, so you can use this to turn and choose which stitch you would like to sew with. I'm just going to sew with one of the longer straight stitches. Here you have your reverse stitch. Okay, here is your tension, so standard would be about a 4, so we're going to leave that for now. To get started with sewing, you're going to place your fabric under your presser foot like that. At the back of your machine up here you will have a lever, so you're going to lower your presser foot lever, okay, and then you can press the foot pedal that's on the floor and start to sew. Reverse, keep going. Okay, when you finish sewing, make sure your needle is in the up position. If it's not, use your hand wheel to move it. Lift up your presser foot, pull your fabric out, and then use that thread cutter on the side to cut your threads. So here's a close-up look of your top thread and the bobbin bottom thread there. Now just before I finish up, I just wanted to show you a few other things that this machine comes with. It has a zipper foot, it has a darning plate, and there's also a buttonhole foot as well. So if you'd like to see a tutorial using any of these accessories, then pop a comment down below to let me know. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.